Welcome. Please be seated. First of all, thank you to Mr. Peter Mackenzie on the bagpipes. Thank you for leading that procession. Good evening. My name is Bill Matson. I'm the City Clerk with the City of Niagara Falls, and it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to this inaugural meeting of Council for the 2022-2026 term. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the Indigenous peoples who have been stewards of the land for millennia before us. And now for a traditional meeting opening from Brian Kahn. I'll call upon Brian. He's a local artist and a community member of the Métis descent. He's an advocate and a strong voice in the Indigenous community. He was instrumental in organizing this year's nationwide Orange Shirt Day events in Niagara Falls that were attended by our Prime Minister and Phyllis Webstad, the creator of the Orange Shirt movement. Please welcome Mr. Brian Kahn.
Sorry about that. Maya Totakawin, welcome to each and every one of you. Before we gathered today, I went outside and I took tobacco and I spoke out each of the names of the candidates. So you have already been introduced to Mother Earth and to the Creator by traditional ways. We call to the Creator the Great Spirit, Kisimanto. He provides us with all that we need. And the greatest gift that He has given to us is the gift of Mother Earth. We need her. She doesn't need us. We are grateful to her for the many gifts that she provides to us, the plants and medicines that nourish our bodies and heal us as we need. We are grateful to the Tree Nation that stands tall and provides us with the materials to build our homes, to build our fires to stay warm, to cook our food, or for our ceremonies. We are grateful to each and every one of the two-legged, the four-legged, the swimmers, the crawlers, the flyers, all that share this space with us. They provide us with all that we need, our food, our clothing, our tools. We are grateful to them. Living in Niagara, we are surrounded by the great waters, and so we are grateful to each and every one of those waterways, in particular, the mighty Niagara as she flows over the escarpment. So we're grateful to her. During the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, we invited survivors from Indian residential schools to come here to watch as Niagara Falls turned orange in honor of each and every one of those who went to the Indian residential schools and those who never made it back home. But the power of the mighty Niagara is there to wash away some of that pain, and we are honored to be a part of that. We are grateful to the waterways also because they provide us with not only our transportation, but they are also part of who we are. In fact, we spend the first 9 months of our lives in water. And so we're grateful for that gift again from Mother Earth. We're grateful for the four winds that blow strong and provide us with change of season. We are grateful to Grandmother Moon. She stands tall in the sky at night. And at times she's there in her full glory, and we are grateful to her. We're grateful to her also because she provides us with future generations. She's the one that makes that decision when those future generations are born. We're grateful to Brother Sun for the bright light that he provides us, the warmth and the energy. And finally, I look to the night sky and I see the stars that are there, and I am told that they are our ancestors and they are watching over us. And they are providing us guidance on our journey here on this land. And as I finish, I will send a challenge to Council. We started this in a traditional way of thanking Mother Earth. I charge each and every one of you to protect her, to make sure that she is safe, not only the land, the water, and the air. So with that, I say, merci, marci, miigwech.
Thank you, Brian. This evening's national anthem will be performed by two well-loved musicians. Please welcome Ashley Pietrangelo to sing the national anthem, accompanied by Anthony Scaringi on keyboard. Please stand.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras se porte et les pays, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. I'd next like to call upon our very own City of Niagara Falls Fire Chaplain, Reverend Isaac Flagg, who will now offer a prayer of invocation.
It's my great honor to be here tonight and to be able to pray for our new council. And I'm so glad to be a part of the Niagara Falls Fire Department and to be a chaplain where we work together across faith communities to serve our community. And so while I pray tonight, it's my hope that all faith groups will gather together, will unite together in prayer for our council as they serve in this term. Let's join together in prayer. Spirit of life and love, who moves in and through, around and among us, bless all gathered here to do the work of governing our city. May those who speak in truth and freedom. May those who listen hear with compassion and curiosity. May those who decide draw from wells of wisdom and discernment and act with care for every resident of this city, for the complex network of communities that sustain us, and for the land that holds us. May this work bolster the strength of our communities and protect the health and dignity of every individual who lives, works, or visits among us. Amen.
So as everyone is aware, the council-elect that we have here this evening is as a result of our last municipal elections. The City of Niagara Falls has officially been in existence since 1904. That is 118 years of municipal government representing its citizens. But I thought it would be interesting to know just how many councils have represented our city in those 118 years. Starting in 1904, councils were elected yearly. I certainly can't imagine running a municipal election every year but that's the way it was done for the last 60 years. In 1963, the old Stamford Township amalgamated with the City of Niagara Falls, and in 1964, they started electing council for 2-year terms. This went on until 1982, when 3-year terms were implemented, and it wasn't until 2006 that citizens started voting for their council for 4-year terms. This brings us to the present day, where we have before us this evening the 80th elected council for the City of Niagara Falls. I think that deserves a round of applause. So without further ado, I would like to call upon His Worship, Justice of the Peace, Bruce Phillips, so that the declaration of office may be administered to each member of council. Mr. Phillips? And first of all, we'll call up Mr. Jim Diodati.
I, James M. Diodati, have been elected to the office of mayor in the municipality of Niagara Falls do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
And a signature, please. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Okay, we next like to call up Tony Baldinelli.
I gotta get closer. I, Antonio Baldinelli, have been elected or appointed to the office of the City Councilor in the municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make a solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as it made under oath.
I'd next like to call to the podium Wayne Campbell.
Yes. Sounds good. I, James Wayne Campbell, having been elected to the office of City Councilor in the municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Next, I'd like to call up Lori Lococo.
I, Lori Lynn Lococo, have been elected or appointed to the office of City Councillor in the municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect if made under oath.
Next, I'd like to call up Ruth Ann Newesteg.
Yes, please. I, Ruth Ann Newesteg, having been elected or appointed to the office of City Councillor in the municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same their force and effect as if made under oath.
Next, we have Mona Patel.
I, Mona Patel, having been elected to office of City Councillor in Municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that this is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Next, we'll call up Victor Pietrangelo.
I, Victor Daniel Pietrangelo, having been elected to the office of City Councilor in the municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Next, I'd like to call up Mike Strange.
I, Michael Vincent Strange, have been elected or appointed to the office of City Councilor in the municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment, reward, or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or an improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. I make the solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
And next to the podium will be Wayne Thompson.
I, Wayne Thompson, having been elected to the office City Council in the municipality of Niagara Falls, do solemnly and promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, impartially exercise this office of the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of the office in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct and indirect, in the accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true and knowing that it is the same force and effect if made under oath.
Okay, so just a quick announcement before we move through the program. I'd just like to invite everyone that's here this evening, upon the conclusion, feel free to come out into the lobby and there will be some light refreshments being served there. Ladies and gentlemen, beginning his 4th term as Mayor of Niagara Falls, His Worship James M. Diodati.
Oh, you don't have to stop for me. So thank you very much for everybody being here today. And a few specific thank yous. First off, Brian Kahn for his traditional meeting opening. We appreciate the sincerity of it. Also, Anthony Scringi on the piano. And of course, Ashley Pietrangelo singing the national anthem. What a beautiful way to kick it off. Being led in by our bagpiper, Peter McKenzie. Bruce Phillips, of course, our Justice of the Peace. It's always funny when we see each other. It's like, hello, Your Worship. Hello, Your Worship. There's a little nickname in there that sounds like worship, but I won't use it. This is not appropriate. Of course, our Reverend Isaac Flagg, our fire chaplain, and our clerk, our city clerk and master of ceremonies, Bill Matson. So please put your hands together for these folks. I know we've also got a lot of staff here tonight, and of course we're not going to be able to mention all of them, but our staff are so talented. We have the best staff anywhere. We're so lucky, and they're the ones that organized this great event here tonight. And specifically, I will mention the leader of the staff, our CAO, our Chief Administrative Officer, Jason Burgess. So thank you, Jason, for being here. It's his first inaugural here in Niagara Falls, so I'm glad that he can see us in action. So just a few comments, and this won't take long, and we'll conclude the meeting, and we can get on. As our clerk mentioned, we've got Timbits and hot chocolate, and I think some coffee out in the lobby, so hopefully you'll stick around and join us. First thing I want to say is how grateful that I am that we're all in this room together the way that we are today. You know, you just look back 4 years ago to 2018, and at that time, who could have imagined the adventure that we're about to embark on? COVID hit, and it hit our community hard, harder than most communities. Reason being, 40,000 people count on tourism to feed their families in Niagara Falls, and we know how important it is. Arguably, our city was hit hardest, and then again at the border, with the ArriveCan app, basically turning tourism off for 2 years. But through these 4 years, although there have been many trials, along with trials come lessons and gifts. So if I can share an anecdotal illustration. I asked for strength, and I was given difficulties to make me strong instead. I asked for wisdom, and I was given problems to solve. I asked for courage, and I was given dangers to overcome. I asked for love, and I was given troubled people to help. My prayers were answered. Maybe not always the way we expect, but they're always answered. There's no doubt that what we learned when we took the challenges and we had to overcome here in our community, but what we were doing, in fact, was learning lessons to lay the foundation for what comes next in Niagara Falls. I'm sure we all held our families a little closer during COVID as we were forced to spend time together indoors. And then that wore off as we got sick of those people too close to us. But I'm sure we all cherish our freedom. And when we could go to the grocery store for the first time without a mandated mask requirement. I'm sure we all relished in the things like our first vacation, our first dinner out, first plane ride. We were grateful for our frontline workers, things that we often take for granted, but sometimes the upside to the downside is once you lose something, that's when you really, truly appreciate it. The power of positive attitude in this community definitely prevailed. Being an elected representative is not all sunshine and roses, if you didn't already know. It comes with its challenges, and especially during COVID, with the two things coming together, social media and COVID, it presented a whole series of different challenges. One thing I promise all of you on council, there will be more challenges. So I've got a little story that I'd like to share, if that's okay. Could I share a little story with everybody? And I don't know if we can open up a door at the back to let some cool air in, or at the front, because it is a little bit warm in here. Are you guys, is it warm a little bit? No? Okay, all right then. Forget that. The child has spoken. It's the king's story. There was a king who lived in a palace next to a country road. All day long, he would watch from his window as people walked right past the palace on the way to the nearby village. Day after day, he would hear people complaining about the way things were. You're going to hear a little bit of complaining from time to time. And it's our fault, just so you know. So one day, he had an idea. He wanted to see if there was anyone who would do more than complain and would actually contribute and do their part and make a difference. So he went to the countryside, found a very large stone, and with great difficulty, he moved the stone and placed it in the middle of the road in front of his palace. Then he sat down at his window again just to watch. The first person complained that someone should be paid to remove this stone. The next person came by and complained that it was a tripping hazard. More and more people came by, each grumbled as they passed, and they had something to say about the stone in their way. Later in the day, the butcher's daughter came with her friend, whistling and skipping down the road. They'd had a long day and were very tired, and it was nearly dark. The butcher's daughter and her friend knew that if they left the stone there when it got dark, someone would surely trip over it. So, though it was late and it was the end of the day, they both rolled up their sleeves and heaved and worked, and they moved the stone. With great difficulty, they moved and rolled it off to the side of the road. When they were finished, they stood with satisfaction. There. Now the stone can do no harm to anyone. Just then, they were about to continue on their way home, and they looked down at the place where the stone had been. There in the dirt was a big pot. It had been hidden under the stone. A little confused, the girls lifted the cover of the pot. Their eyes grew large. The pot was filled with shining gold pieces. There was something written on the inside of the lid. This pot belongs to those who take the stone out of the middle of the road. The girls were overjoyed and couldn't wait to get home to tell their families. And the king was happy too. He had finally found people who were willing to contribute to the greater good rather than just grumbling. And the reason I tell this story is there's no better time to step up and step into the ring right now. This new council, we have a chance to start fresh, work as a team, and row the boat together. It's okay if we disagree. You're allowed to debate, dissent, but never disrespect. This is an exciting time in our history, and I know that this council is up for it. Can you please put your hands together for this council? So, you know, there's some key projects that we've been working on in this city. And even though COVID was here, we never stopped. The first thing, we are so thrilled that after so many years of working, the University of Niagara Falls, Canada is becoming a reality. And this is going to be transformational. This is not going to be a traditional university. This will be emerging technology, innovation, digital, data, bioscience. That, along with the GO train coming up to full schedule, bringing hundreds of thousands of people in and out of our downtown. Imagine what that downtown is going to look like, because I can imagine, I can already see what it's going to look like. It's going to be hustling and bustling, and we're going to have people living there and shopping there. It's going to be a very exciting place. In fact, in my opinion, it's going to become the coolest area of town. We've got our new Niagara South Hospital. We'll be breaking ground sometime early this coming year. We're going to build a hospice, and we're going to work together as a community so that you can die with dignity in a comfortable environment in your own city. The entertainment center just opened. It's 5,000 seats, and I'm sure everybody heard the grand opening is going to be Billy Joel, which is going to be quite exciting. It'll be his only performance in all of Canada. And what's so exciting about that is you don't have to go to Toronto or Buffalo. If you want to see world-class entertainment, you could do it right here in your own backyard. Our new arts and culture and farmers market is going to be opening up in the coming months as well. It'll be known as the Exchange behind the Niagara Falls Museum, History Museum. So those are just a few things to let you know we're working on some very exciting things to move the ball forward. Niagara Falls has traditionally been known for its affordable taxes and high level of service. In fact, we're the lowest here in the region of any city that has full-time fire service. And our amenities are more than any other city our size. The quality of life here, there's no question, is second to none. And the interesting dichotomy and dynamic of Niagara Falls is the unique resident-tourist balance. We always work on achieving the balance. So in closing, challenges are going to come our way. There's going to be hurdles to overcome. So I'd like to leave you with one last story. This is a Zen farmer. Zen farmer who relied on his horse on his farm. So he would always say to all of his comments, he'd always say, good luck, bad luck, who knows? Good luck, bad luck, who knows? So one day his horse escaped to the hills, and the neighbors came by to say, we're so sorry about your bad luck. And he said, good luck, bad luck, who knows? The horse came back with a herd of horse friends, and his neighbors came by to congratulate him. And he said, yeah, good luck, bad luck, who knows? His son was attempting to tame one of the wild horses, and he fell off, and he broke his leg. And the neighbors came to say, we're so sorry about your bad luck. And he said, good luck, bad luck, who knows? Then the army came by to recruit him, his son, and they didn't enlist him because his son was injured with a broken leg. And his neighbors came by to say what good luck he had. And can you imagine what the farmer said? Yeah, he said, good luck, bad luck, who knows? So the next time you see a mountain in front of you, remember, it's just a matter of perspective. We intend to be mountain climbers, this council, with our staff. So let's climb the highest mountains together, because I promise you the view will be spectacular. Thank you very much.
That concludes tonight's program. I appreciate everyone coming and welcoming in our 80th edition of Council for the City of Niagara Falls. And again, for those who would like to stick around, please join us for some light refreshment in the lobby. Thank you very much, everyone.